Yeah, let's continue the World Economic Forum. Now is the question of Japan. The central bank governor Kuroda has said there is a top priority is the overcoming of deflation. They have got quantitative and qualitative easings started 4 years ago, and it has started improving the economy. Company profits are at an all-time high. Unemployment is all-time low at 3%. Full employment is there. CPI inflation is around 1%. It is expected to be plus 2% that they want. What is that they want? There are two issues. Inflation expectations are down, but from 14 to 16, despite record profits, firms are not increasing the wages. Therefore, they are not adding to the wage inflation. New political framework is there. Inflation is the 2%. That is the price stability target, which is not being achieved so far. Global pickup in manufacturing and trade, they expect it to be there. And Japanese recovery in exports is there. Industry production is good. 2008 till now, their IT goods in Asia, their trade is very much high. The global trade is going up. Long-term interest rates are up. They are bottomed out in the first half of 2016. Large structural reforms have been initiated by Japan, including labor market reforms have been implemented. Okay, Japanese firms are more competitive and proactive, and sustainable growth is possible. Next comes Mr. BlackRock, private sector. Okay, Larry Funk. Now he says he has got optimism in case of MSME in US. MSME is the biggest, say, employment provider in US. Public voice has changed the policy in UK and USA. Optimism is there. Car sales are up. Small business sales are up. Then less monetary and more fiscal reliefs are expected in US. That means more tax reliefs are going to be given to individuals to reduce their tax burden. Infrastructure is going to be the next thrust area for US. They have got $2 trillion maintenance to be done. The stock prices of common stock, steel, cement, they have doubled for last 2-3 months. Uncertainty actually is there how US will pay for these expenses. Retail section is 80 to 90% retailers, they sell only imported goods. Now Trump wants them to sell in the US goods, which is not possible. So that is one big question mark. Then because this 80 to 90% share in the retail of imported goods and consumerism as a base for growth of US, and US being the biggest debtor of the entire world, has been there since World War II. Okay, this is a natural formation of the US economy. There is a fear of future in the US because of the aging society, because of inadequate retirement provisions, and then 2008 to 2016 defined benefits for the retired people have been removed, and the individuals have been thrown to their own whims and fancies, and how they survive, it is up to them. Therefore, they are people who are above 50 years of age are in the workforce and they are working longer years, and youngsters are fighting with this particular tendency because they are losing opportunities. There are rising risks of strong dollar, rising risk of protectionism. It works against competitiveness because with a strong dollar, US products will be less competitive. There is a world of strong dollar is now, it's going to be there for the next 2 years. And the biggest borrower of treasury debt is US, and it is difficult to stop inflows as China is trying to stop outflows, but it is failing. So these relations with lenders of Japan and China have to be kept up positively by USA. So it cannot take up any major fight with either these two countries. Then the opinion of Schäuble of Germany is that loose fiscal policy and then tight monetary policy is the truism in EU and USA. And UK and EU, they are going to maintain their trade ties, and they are very happy. Germany is happy to learn that UK wants to continue to be the biggest trading partner of EU, and then they do not expect the US to destroy free trade, and they cannot leave the entire leadership of free trade to China. So competitiveness in EU is solved. Then there's Brexit is a wake-up call to EU, and Brexit is a result of Euroscepticism and because of inability to manage the human inflows in the shape of refugees. Then London, it will remain to an important financial center for EU, and it will solve EU economics problems. Okay, then Larry Funk says financial sector deregulation is under US leadership, which has been brought into place. There is core BIS and Financial Stability Bureau Board and the Dodd-Frank Act. This is the framework under which the financial stability is running in the world, and they see that it will remain in force. Then financial crisis has shown that entire world is interconnected, and China and non-bank entities are taking big risks which banks should have taken. In US and India, there are regulations to control non-banks into getting into the banking sector. Okay, there is a black swans that are risks this year are tax, trade, and financial reforms, and economic outlook for Africa and Latin Caribbean is less growth and more people, and artificial intelligence and disruptive effect of the artificial intelligence is a major technology disruption that is expected in the next year. Okay, thank you for watching this. We'll see the next installment.